This will be our review of decimals and percents. We want to write decimals as fractions, add, subtract, multiply, and divide decimals, round decimals to a given decimal place, write fractions as decimals, and then write percent as decimals and decimals as percent, keeping in mind vocabulary of decimal notation, place value, dividend, quotient, divisor, and percent. Alright, so let's get started. Now here they want us to convert from a percent to a decimal. So think of this as 7/10. So that would be 7/10. Now when there's one decimal place, you just have 1 0 and a 1 and a 0 in the denominator. Now here there are two decimal places, so this is going to be 122. So two decimal places would be over 100. So again, two decimal places, 2 zeros, and a 1. This is 1 and 22 hundredths, or 122 hundredths. Now here we have three decimal places, so there's going to be a 1 and then 3 zeros for our denominator, and our numerator will have just a 299. Now here there's one decimal place, so this is going to be a 10, and then it's just 4, 7, 1. So it's like 471 tenths. One decimal place, 1 0, three decimal places, 3 0, 2 zeros, 1 0. Now these next few, 1 and part A, B, C, and D, you're going to just basically put that into your calculator and add them. But if you were going to do it the regular way, 12.73, 1.065, 4.117, the key would be to line them up so the decimal values are in the appropriate column. Again, generally you're going to just put this into the calculator and get a reading. Now when you do multiplication of decimals, again you have to be careful. This has 5 decimal places in it. This has 1. So your answer, believe it or not, is going to have 6 decimal places. But again, you're going to put that in your calculator. And then you're going to put this in your calculator, 0.18 divided by 0.0006, and it gives you the answer. So in this next part, and this is kind of crucial for a number of things we're going to do later in the course, round each decimal to a given place value. Well, after the decimal, the 5 is in the tenths place. 3 is in the hundredths place. 9 is in the thousandths place. They want us to round to the hundredths place. So we look at the one beyond it, to the right of it, of the hundredths. The hundredths is 3. We look at the 9. And in the thousand place, if it's 5 or more, we then round up, and this then becomes 0.5, and out of 3 that was in the hundredths, we add 1 to it, and that becomes 4. So this is the proper rounding. Now for letter B, tenths. So we look at what's in the hundredths place. There is a 5 there, and the rule is 5 or more, we round up. If it were a 4, we just drop it. So this becomes 2 point, and in the tenths place, we're going to round up 1. It becomes 4. Now this is the area after the decimal point. We want to round to the nearest thousandths. So there's 10, hundredths, thousands, 10,000ths. So we go to the 10,000ths place. It's 5 or more, so we're going to make that 3 a 4. So 0.064, and then 27. Oh, I put that in the wrong place there. 003. Okay, now for number 4, we're asked to write each fraction as a decimal. And often we're going to use our calculator for this. If we put this into our calculator, it just becomes 0.4. If we put this into our calculator, it becomes 0.666, and it keeps continuing. Now here they're giving us instructions that if it's a repeating decimal, we use the bar notation over the repeating part. So here we would write 0.6. The 6 is repeating. But they're also saying in this case, round to the nearest thousandths. So here it's 1, 2, the thousandths would be there. We look at the 10,000ths, we see it's a 6, so we're going to drop that and make this 6 in the thousandths position a 7. So 0.667. Now 3/8 rounds off to a terminating decimal, and that's 0. And I'm just going to verify that. I think it's 385, but I've turned on my calculator here, and 3 divided by 8, 75. Let me see, I got the 0 already. 375. So this terminated, and I didn't have to round off. Now, for 19/6, if I convert that to a mixed number, 6 will go into there 3 times with 1 left over. So this is going to be 3 and 1/6. So the decimal form of this would be 3.1, and then 1/6 here is 166, and the 6's continue. So the part that repeats would be the 6's. So I would put a bar over that, 3.16 with a bar, and then to round this to the nearest thousandths here, this would be 3.16, and I have to raise that one up to a 7. And those would be my answers. Now in this next part, they're asking us to convert percent to decimals. Now the percent sign, I've always thought, has a 0 there and another 0 there, is to move the decimal point, which is right there, 2 decimal places to the left. So this would then become 0.16. Now again, we're moving the decimal point 2 places to the left. So we're going to add 1 0 there, and this becomes 0.051. So the percent sign stands for 2 decimal places, 2 zeros. So to take the percent sign away, move it over 2 places. So this would be 3.00, converting this 300% to its decimal form. And again, 0.7, going to add a 0. So move it over 2 places as we take away the percent sign. 0.007. Now in doing the opposite, changing from a decimal to a percent, where here we move the decimal place to the left, took away the percent sign. Here we're going to move the decimal place to the right and add a percent sign. Oh, let's do that one again there. So here the decimal place is here. We'd have to add 2 zeros and then a percent sign. Move the decimal 2 places to the right and add a percent sign. 2 places to the right and add a percent sign. Now, interestingly, on this sheet, and you didn't see it until the end, we see that all the answers are listed here. And again, if you have any specific questions and you're not sure of something, bring them into class. We'll be happy to answer them. All right, we'll wrap this up now.